Alrighty. Where to start? So yeah, clear cut. I'll start with just like the mid, and then we can just talk about different game states. I think that's kind of the best way to talk about Koth and all that. Are you guys familiar with this map at all? Like, have you guys had any like seasons of experience with this, or not really?
Uh, I played it
I
on
have, but I
PC.
forgot all the callouts, except for
Gotcha.
like a few.
Would you like me to go over callouts real quick, or?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So I'll start from mid and then I'll go further back. So obviously you have right roof and left roof, and then you have right. This is right house. Both of these are called houses. So just remember that none of these are houses. They're all called something different.
Or wait, I thought that was bunker,
You
or
can
is
call
it
it
both?
bunker house. Bunker is actually more applicable because you use it to bunker, which I'll get into. But yeah, you can call it bunker or house. And then you just say our roof, their roof, or blue roof, red roof. I would just stick to like positional of where you guys are. It's easier in the moment. Um, and then going from there, obviously you have crate. Um, I call this valley, or you can call it pit, low ground, whatever you want to call it. Um, Going further back, you have this is Killbox up here. I always just say below Killbox. I think there actually is a real call out for it, but yeah, everybody calls this Killbox. This is fence right here because you can sit on it like a fence in a lot of other maps, and you can kind of spam from it. Um, then over here you have saw because there's a saw blade. There was a saw blade in the past.
It's on the outside.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, so we have saw here, and then um, yeah, you can just call this back of bunker pretty much. There's more call out maps that you can look up for this, and you guys can figure out what you want to call it. I know this map has a
One
lot
thing
of
I remember
regional
is
variants.
like the rollout I think was called Valley, like the rollout area.
People call this valley, but some people also call this valley. So my team always called this valley, and we called this rollout. So you can look up one of those rollout.tf ones, and I would just say do that, and then try to agree on one. Um, I'll just kind of use generalizing statements of like what I call them. So I'll just say this is house, saw, kill box, below kill box, pit or valley, and then you can kind of go from there. Obviously, yeah, your crates and stuff like that. Um, so basic ones. There's not really any callouts for back here. You can just say back left, back right. I never hear anybody have a specific name for any of these rooms, but I bet there is, quote unquote. So starting off with mid, rollouts are usually this way. You come up here with your combo. Combo can roll out through saw. It's a little bit slower, and you leave yourself open to a predictable spam angle from the demo charging a sticky. So I'd recommend just roll out Valley because it allows you to bait a little bit better. Um, the harsh reality about this map, and that I think the most important thing to say about this map is that you can kind of always be bombed from anywhere, and that just kind of goes into how strong bombing is on this map. Since there is like, let's say you're a mid right, the two places of actual concealed cover of where your med is safe, quote unquote, from getting just bombed and two rocketed at any point is back here in bunker and all the way back in saw. Now, the problem with Saw is you can just get so easily trapped off from it, and there's also a bunch of blind angles that are easily bombable as well, so you usually don't want to be in here, right? So med coming up to mid, you kind of just need to play really much for yourself. Um, that also goes to the scouts as well. They really need to play around the med having active positioning. So pocket scout, just make sure that your med is fully able to beam you the entire time, and make sure you're playing around that area of effect. Um, Demo is usually going to be rolling out and walking up onto mid. The demo's job on this is to keep people off of these houses. If the demo can roll out extremely fast and get here really early, getting 2 sticks on this height or just spamming people off this height does so much for your pocket. Pocket soldier usually obviously just lands on this roof and then goes for spam right here. But the pocket soldier is just in the best spot for the just a single bomb, right? You can jump forward onto this crate, you can go further behind, you can do 2 rockets off of this thing, land on the medic. So anything that you can enable for your pocket soldier to get on this height right here is just going to make mids a lot easier and a lot less spammy. That's usually what these mids sort of become, is it's just spam more and more of attrition. And that kind of the main point I want to say is to actually be effective on this map and not just kind of leave it up to spam wars and who can hit whichever shots and whichever pipes, is you really want to just play around high bombs and getting bombs behind people, since this map does not have a lot of roofs. So just setting that down as a baseline. It's always going to be super, super powerful to send someone behind, so you're going to have to be prepared for that. I'll kind of give you some advice for contingency plans when people go behind, but one play that you should look to do when you're calling what to do on mids is definitely call a lot of bombs and call a lot of going behind plays, because that is going to let you actually dictate the pace of the match that's being played more than just spamming around. And at your division, that's just going to be way more effective than just, opting into the one-on-one DM fights, which is what this map usually is with how open it is. So that makes sense? So yeah, let me just go over mid positioning real quick. I'll get back on that. Sorry, I kind of got sidetracked, but I feel like that's an important point. So we'll start with the med. Med rolls up, right? Med is going to be beaming the demo, and the med's job is to obviously be in range of a scout. The pocket scout has a few options. He can play on the height, he can play on the crate, he can help his team over on this left side. I would usually advise for a scout playing further back. If you ever watch Banny or anybody play on a map like this, usually what they're doing is they're just sitting back and waiting for a bomb pretty much. That's totally valid. If you're doing that, that makes it a lot easier for your med to actually walk up and beam your demo man, which should be the main goal. Demo man is going to allow you to boss people off height so you don't get bombed, and yeah, just literally do damage on this mid. Demo does the most damage on this mid, and it's very much just a demo mid if you can enable him to do so. So just focus heavily on being able to beam your demo. Anything that you guys can do to really support him is going to be helpful. I'm going to give you a few strats that I think you guys should try, and this would just be like mid plans. So one mid plan that I like to do a lot is a simple left shove. So my roamer and my flank scout, when we're rolling out to mid, we call I want to jump on left house. My roamer is going to call that. And then what the flank scout does is he literally runs up on this height and then waits for his soldier to be ready. As soon as he gets to mid, they go 3, 2, 1, and they both jump on this height. If you are someone who's on this height and you get bombed or hit with 50 damage from a scout and a rocket, even if you don't die, the not having someone on this height means that you lose the mid pretty much. That is just so much spam and pressure. Your med is immediately going to have to hold S, and then your demo is probably going to be caught in. So definitely try to do proactive stuff with shoving onto houses. However you guys want to do it, I like doing 3, 2, 1 calls and just going up to mid, being like, okay, I'm here, going in 3, 2, 1, jump up on here, and then fight everything on height. I feel like that works out really well. And then another mid plan that you can do is obviously the behind plan. I think it's just easiest for the pocket soldier to go behind because you can just go off 2 houses. 1 second, I'm like 50 HP. I don't want to kill myself doing an example. But yeah, soldier going behind, always good, because you can, as the pocket soldier, sort of just, you can go through there. I says I should jump, but you can jump off this thing to go behind in this route, which is a lot faster. Yeah, you can kind of dictate which fight is being taken, so it just depends on, what you hear from your team of where their med is. If the person goes behind and you're the soldier behind, you just have to ask over and over, where's their med, so you can get behind and just jump on his face pretty much. That is your main job of going behind, and you want to be able to do that as fast as possible. People are going to do this to you guys a lot on clearcut. That's kind of the name of the game. It's one of the most common things you can do is just go behind. So here's how I want you to kind of tackle it. Assign just one flank player to be the one that is actually going back, and then have the other one just looking back. So usually how I do it is I have my roamer pretty much turn around, because having a roamer on mid to be able to bomb forward if we need to is more important. And then my flank scout is literally going back and peeking behind stuff to look for him. That way, then you don't have, your pocket and your demo and stuff all turning around trying to look at the same person. You can just set it to flank scout goes back for the guy if you guys want to immediately fight him. And then roamer looks back by standing by the combo, though, or just in his normal positions. Just more efficient that way. Another thing you can do if they go behind, and this is probably the easiest counterplay, is just say, okay, there's a person behind, let's all go forward. The main thing is that's only going to work if you guys are able to do that at a fast speed. So, you know, make sure you look at your match HUD first before you make the call. Look for HP. If a person goes behind and you see a soldier jump all the way behind you, make that call and be able to go in within the next 2 seconds. Because if you make that play slowly, then you're just going to be slow feed pretty much. But yeah, if someone goes behind, you can literally just go forward. Try to fight Demo always on this mid. Like I said, Demo has the easiest angles ever. He can play around walls really well. He can spam off the heights, and he's the only one who can like play this angle really efficiently on this left side house. So yeah, just if someone goes behind, either just say flank, go for it, and then have that contingency plan already down, so your pocket and your med especially don't have to think about looking back at all. And then you should be good to just like, you know, play the map without being caught off guard by these flank plays. That's kind of what happened to my team a lot, is we just didn't really have the contingency plan down for who was looking back and who was actually going back. So yeah, something like that is just super helpful. Yeah, jumping back onto mid, obviously. Demo plays up here. Focus on the shoves and playing on houses and stuff like that. Pocket Soldier, just make sure that you're not jumping too far forward on this house. You really don't need to be this far forward on this wall pretty much ever. The main place you want to be is just standing back here on this corner and just spamming over like this. You can spam the box, you can spam back and saw. The main thing is you just don't want to be against this wall, because if someone is below you and they bum up on you, you're going to be immediately against a wall and a free kill. So try to play around this back lip so you can immediately surf damage off or just get off if you need to. But your presence up here is like pretty crucial. Just make sure it's not too predictable. You know, mix up your timings. If a demo knows you're going to jump up on the same exact spot and pressure from the same exact spot over mid, you're going to take like 80 damage just from the guy looking at you. So, you know, every single mid, you kind of want to make it your goal as the Pocket Soldier to get up here, but make sure you're mixing up and trying to figure out how you can get up there without taking a fuck ton of damage while still, you know, putting out pressure. That's just kind of your main job, is just this area. All right, that's enough time talking about like basic mids, unless you guys have any questions on any things I've said already. Anybody got anyone? I've been
When
rambling.
you're saying for the roamer to turn around, is like his main job just to spot if the soldier's bombing in?
Yeah, pretty much. Because if you really want to like go back for the guy, having a roamer go all the way back, he's going to use all of his HP going out and looking for the guy. And then even if you get that kill, right, which is still a soldier 1v1, it's a lot easier to lose if you're rocky jumping back to find him after he gets a pack. It's just a lot harder. So have your scout, if you're looking to fight him, this is all if you're looking to fight the guy that goes behind and you're not choosing to run forward, then the scout goes back, he peeks around an angle, he can peek through saw, he can come over and peek through valley over here and just see if there's any sort of, you know, if the soldier jumps on the ground early, they might be going for a high bomb or something like that. You can usually catch out that pick for free. That's just if you're trying to, like, you know, play your stable spam mid, which isn't a bad option, just giving you trying like multiple options here. So either go forward or have your scout go back and look for the kill, while your roamer is more just turning around and spotting for it. Will also, you know, you can just do one of these, look around for a bit, jump around. Maybe jump on kill box is also a really good spot. I see that happen a lot when people go behind. If someone will just stand on kill box and they'll just peek down here for a second, look down, and then come back, and then you can still play the mid, and then you can also go back and fight the guy if he's behind you. Also, if the guy bombs your medic, then you're in a great spot to counter jump him. I might die here. But yeah, you can just, you know, obviously counter bomb a lot of people from that position. Just make sure you guys communicate and figure out what you want to do. Obviously, I'm giving you multiple ways that you can choose to handle people going behind. Figure out what works best for you in your scrims. You know, whether it's you just want to fight forward or do you want to look back and try to get the kill. Both are completely valid, in my opinion. Different invite players will tell you one is better than the other, but nah. Going
Where
behind
does
as well,
roamer
just keep going
stand
behind.
on mid?
Roamer goes a few spots. I think that Roamer has the weirdest position. He comes out left side here. So you pretty much have two options as Roamer. You can try to do some sort of aggressive play on the roof. You can go for a bomb off of this wall. Or the safest option is you jump up here with your first rocket and then you can spam across the mid. And that's completely valid, because if you stand back here, you're easily rebuffable, and you can kind of be wherever you need me. Let's say your pocket soldier gets jumped or whatever, you're in that position to actually be able to help them. You can stop scouts from walking across point, you can chip away at the demo. It's a pretty useful position for being across the point. So it's either this if you want to play more passive, or choose something that you want to do before you get into mid, and then do that as your mid plan, like a bomb or something. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Flank scout as well is also kind of weird. You can choose to hover your medic, so if you want to play a more passive mid, you can sort of hover around this area. Otherwise, the flank scout has this free area to go jump up on this height if he wants to. You can just kind of play hidden for the mids. So it's just kind of up to what you guys want to do with the mid. Talk if you want to spam working with your demo. Talk if you want to go for an early bomb or something like that, and then just have your players go around that otherwise. So, you know, it's just like a more default plan. You can just say aggressive or passive and not have to talk about all your positioning and all that. Yeah. So okay. I already talked about the mid itself. Let's talk about forwards and busting out of forward holds. So there's like I was saying, there's not really good places to hide in this map unless you're in bunker. So you guys know of the term bunkering on this map, right? Just in general,
You
you
just
just
like
literally
hide in there and wait for a bomb.
it's just med right here. You have a scout and a demo right here. The demo kind of like traps the entrances, and then you have your soldier stand up top here so that they can't just immediately bomb behind you guys, and then you know just fill in the gaps like
Where
all
does
around this
Roamer
hat.
go on this?
Roamer? Okay, well here's what I like to do. A lot of people will say Roamer double on height, or even like a Roamer spotting over here and trying to get spam on the way in. What I like to do is I like to just have my Roamer stand over in this corner, because what's going to happen is, obviously on bunkers, what's going to happen is you're going to get 4-man sacked into over and over and over again. The Roamer just stands in this corner. He gets a bow from his med really early on. As soon as you see people jump on height or jump on ground, you literally just counterbound the person from like that back height, because nobody is going to be looking in that back left corner ever on like a 4-man sack.
Right. That makes
So
sense.
I'd say just try that out. It works a lot of the time for me. You can just get a free counter bomb on something and kill something for free that otherwise would, you know, get a pick.
And can you bunker at any Uber, or is it typically for disad?
You want to bunker when you have ad, pretty much.
Okay, so to protect the med, so that way we don't drop.
Yes. The goal is to make it so that nobody dies. You know, any kill is a good kill on a 4-man sack for the enemy team. So this gives you the best chance of not dying, the best chance of protecting your med, since protecting your med is super fucking hard on this map. Exactly. So yeah, med bunker back here. Pretty much, if you're if you have ad and you're trying to hold them out, you pretty much just want to sit here with this. They're never going to bring their med in. I'll show you guys kind of how the 4-man sack strategy, but yeah, this is what you do if you have that ad and you want to keep it and you want to shave off more time. Other than that, I would just say literally have your med bait like super far back in Valley if you guys are like, you know, a little disad or something like that. You want your soldiers buffed and you want them hiding around corners. Thankfully, there's a lot of really good corners to hide on in this map, so you can kind of just choose a corner to sit in, stand on a piece of height or something like that. Get a buff while your med is leaving, and then force the med as they walk in. That should kind of just be your contingency plan if you guys recognize that you are disad while capping the point. Make sure that you know, you're always playing to get the force out. Otherwise, you're just kind of conceding the point in time for free. Next thing I kind of want to talk about is oh crap, I just had the point and then I lost it. Yeah, just sort of edging the cap. Edging cap in this map is super fucking important because it actually just drives the initiative. So if you guys are completely evens, right, like you've done your 4-man sacks and you didn't force the med, your med now has Uber. What you need to do is you need to get to the point with your team, right? And try to find the safest doorway. So you buff one soldier usually first. The main reason you send a soldier first to spot is because they're the healthiest and they will die. You know, they're the most resistant to getting dead on by like a 4-stick trap, right? So you can usually risk jumping through a doorway and spotting for your team. So what's going to happen is even Ubers, right? You're trying to get back on the point. You want to get your whole team in. You want to be able to edge the point with anything bad happening. So you have probably your roamer or your pocket soldier to get a full buff. They can jump in and they can look around. I usually just jump from like here all the way back into my valley, or back from my valley across this wall back into my own kill box. Look around, you know. You can also just jump over to this area get a little spotted, make sure there's no sticks on kill box, make sure there's make sure saw is clear, stuff like that. And then pretty much just walk in with your whole team at once, trying to take as little damage as possible as you walk to point, and then you literally just have your demo spam from back here, and then one of your scouts just tap the point over and over and over. Otherwise, you're just kind of going to be doing something that's going to be put you in a bad fight. So this is a way to like put the initiative on the enemy team to have to make a play if it's completely even Ubers and you're getting back to it. So just go back, try to get there as healthy as possible. Clear with one person at a time just to make sure you're not going to get exploded on, and then just walk. Another main thing to remember is that if you're in these even scenarios, which I feel like is probably the most important part of COD, that's usually where a lot of teams get stuck and they don't know what to do. If you're on a complete even spot, you're like, do I bomb? Do I take a Uber in a fight or anything? One thing that works amazingly, will catch a lot of people off guard, is called a sandblast Uber, which is literally just a solo scout Uber. So let's say your whole team walks in, you guys both have even Ubers. They're not bombing, they're just spamming you guys out. You can't really touch the point because you're taking so much damage. If you notice that their med is close, you take a single scout Uber and you walk across the point and you shoot their med and you get the Uber out, and then you shoot as many other players with just the scout and the medic, right? You want them to pop the Uber and you want to flash on 4 people. Then you guys need to take the post fight afterwards. You know, because their med is going to flash 3 people, their Uber's going to run out faster. You guys can get in on the fight, and hopefully your guys' Ubers will probably be ending at the same time, or hopefully you can get them to flash enough that their Uber is ending beforehand. Everybody else plays healthy, and then they jump in, try to get some kills afterwards. I know it's kind of a lot and stuff like that, but that's kind of like the main game state that you need to think of for actually making something happen, other than like 4-man sacks, bombs, spam and stuff like that. You just need to be proactive and have a game plan. So, edge cap. If you guys don't know what to do, it's even Ubers. Walk up and edge the cap. If you can't edge the cap, try to take a solo scout Uber, bomb a soldier, do something proactive. You always need to be doing something proactive on a Koth map. Otherwise, you're just trimming off time from your own timer that people are going to capitalize on. Probably won't capitalize on as much in this division, but just make sure that you guys are kind of always going from thing to thing to thing with your main calls as well. Say, hey, we're going to go edge the point right now. Okay, we're taking a bunch of damage. Let's reset. Are my soldiers ready to bomb? Let's bomb. Or do you want to take the Uber? Okay. You need to kind of always be doing something. Otherwise, teams are just going to always choke you out on these maps. Let's transition into how you should do 4-man sacks, because people do this so wrong and it pisses me off.
Wait, whose job is it to edge the point?
It can be either one of the scouts. I like Pocket Scout doing it because Pocket Scout can get a little bit of buff. Flank Scout can also do it. I think both scouts should be working to edge the point together, if that makes sense. You can either come from different angles. Scout can play in that like pit area on the left side and sort of edge the point from there, draw eyes. But yeah, you just kind of have your scouts step on, step off it, and try to get that point flip for yourself without losing anybody.
Okay.
Any more questions real quick on the stuff that I mentioned? I can go back if you have visual reference. So yeah, let's just talking about, obviously, try to be proactive on this map. If you're walking into mids with even Ubers, try to force either a point edge, bomb, or single scout Uber, something like that. Main points there.
Oh, I had a question.
Yeah.
So you're saying to like send a soldier out to spot when it's even and like you're backed up here, but like, so where would their team generally be holding? Like, are you not just gonna jump like over their team or something?
No. Teams are going to usually be this far forward, and if they're this far forward, then you can usually just poke them out. Most teams are going to be standing on the roof spots because they're holding with their Uber and stuff like that, and they don't want to let a soldier bomb them. So if their med's forward or anything like that, and you see their med not in a bunker or something like that, and they're playing improperly, you just bomb them with a soldier. It's that simple. This map has a giant skybox. There's a lot of walls to jump off of. The answer should always be, if they're not playing in a proper hold, then yeah, you bomb a soldier. But that is a good point. I can actually switch to like what the hold should be as well, because that's very, very important. So obviously you have your bunker hold. Let's say it's like no longer ad or anything like that. You guys are trying to shave off more time, completely even Ubers. Here's the hold, right? So you want your medic and your demo. Kind of just think of like similar to just the basic mid. So med here, demo here. You can have your pocket scout on this right roof. I think pocket scout on the right roof is really good because you can spot more. You can just kind of stand up here. You can look at kill box. You can look for a bomb coming this way. I like my roamer and my flank. I honestly just like my roamer up here. Flank scout can be standing up on height over here too, just by the med. You kind of just want double scout on med. You can have a soldier on this right height. I like two soldiers on left roof, two scouts on right roof is what my team did. I've also seen people do one soldier on each roof and one scout on each roof. It's kind of up to what you guys like to do. I personally think two scouts on right roof is a little bit better because more denial for the medic. But the only problem is that one soldier just actually needs to be responsible for not just spamming forward and then counter bombing the people that land on your medic. If that makes sense, right? Let's just say like they bomb or anything like that. But so yeah, two scouts height, two soldiers height, whichever configuration you want to do. I like two
And medic
soldiers
and demo in
because
bunker.
yeah, no, not in bunker. I like them back here. If it's completely
right,
even Ubers,
right,
you can just
right.
you can just stand out in the open because you just want to be able to beam the people that are close to you, and you
Right.
really want to have your soldiers buffed on an even hold like this. But yeah, main thing there, and then yeah, so when you guys are jumping in and looking at mid and stuff like that, usually you're just going to see a lot of people on height. So you want one soldier to jump in because otherwise you just get spammed out and then you lose the exchange no matter what. So one soldier gets in, he spots for the rest of the team. You guys figure out which one is the path of least resistance, and then you walk in as a team together. Usually how I would do it is I, as a soldier, would jump into right side. I say, hey, kill box is clear. My team would walk out, either jump out of kill box or go out from below, and then sort of cross over to the mid side right here, and then play onto the point from there in a neutral position, right? You just kind of want to make it safe as possible for your whole team to get in. And so just one soldier just makes it easier. So make sure you slow down, let your soldier do the clearing for you, and then go in off of what he says.
Are
Yeah.
you able to go over how to counter sniper and how to play sniper? Because I
How
know
to counter
sniper's really
sniper
good
and how
at
to
this
play
map.
sniper. Yeah, I mean, that is the devil on this map. I can kind of go over it. So again, it's soldier bombs, right? If there is a sniper, there's one thing that you guys always need to prioritize on this map, and that is getting the soldiers buffed and having your soldiers bomb very, very high. If your soldier is bombing very, very high, and has the chance to even land on the sniper, that exerts that either makes the sniper die because you just land on his face, or he has to run away. So that's just what you do. You just are always playing to, okay, let's get our soldiers buffed, and let's get them jumping forward. Otherwise, you really just kind of have to concede this because these sightlines are disgusting, especially with the sniper in kill box or in saw. Main angles you can play, obviously. There's no way a sniper can get you from anywhere on this back angle, or you can also just stand behind this wall right here. I would say generally as well, if you're a medic, standing on this sort of like half of the ground is probably your safest bet because you have the most options to choose where you want to go, and you're pretty close to doorways. And then here, the only angle that a sniper could quickscope you is through saw or something like that.
And can you play saw on disad? Like
On
if
disad?
you're a medic and you're disad, can you play like around saw ready to leave with
Yeah,
scout or
I mean, you
something?
can play in Saw. I think the main thing that you should just be concerned about, like, okay, here's the thing. Saw will work as a place to play in and to get out. The problem is it's just super, super fucking scary because one soldier can high bomb, land here, or he can land here, and you're pretty blind to that. It's super easy to get caught out and spammed in here. And even if you're standing in here, a demo spamming in here, right where I'm standing, you just die. It's not much
Okay.
counterplay, right?
So
So
staying
just
in valley is probably safer, like around
probably
valley.
safer, yes. You kind of the problem is there's no really good place to go, so you just have to be ready to surf, and then you have to make sure that your players are able to deny the guy. That's literally what this map comes down to. This is kind of going to test you guys like coordination to actually kill the bomber on time, and to make sure that like the right players are buffed at the right times so that you can support your medic. Otherwise, like your medic doesn't have like a quote unquote safe place to stand. That's kind of what I'm getting at here.
Okay.
But yeah, so talked about the holds a little bit. With the soldiers forward, you guys pretty much just want to spam all the way in. Another thing you can do is you can spam them all the way in and then bomb them right in the face as well. Usually, if you bomb the guy forward, that just does the a lot of the space doing for you. So I'm just gonna kill myself real quick so I can show you what this looks like, right? Especially from going into it. I think it's important. So if a soldier is standing on height, right? You have pretty much two options. You can ignore the guy and jump past him, which is very, very difficult. Unless you're doing a high bomb off of one of these two walls and just going really, really high up in the air, or you bomb the soldier. So the main thing to remember is, obviously, you want to spam the guys as they're walking in, but you need to make sure you are not overcommitting on this height, because if someone lands on you, you're either going to be against a wall or you're going to be a free air shot. So more often than not, you'll just die if you're overcommitting on this high ground. So if you see people get up to and you get up to like this angle right here, if you see any soldiers bomb you, counter bomb away and give them that space so you can stand back here and then bomb yourselves back in. If that makes sense. You just really, really don't want to overcommit, because anybody that really gets up in your face can just kill you if they put enough pressure on you from this position. But you do need to stand up here, because otherwise you're just giving away Valley and Saw for free. So play your life, but also make sure that you're always fucking spamming these and conserving your ammo up to 3 rockets. Just so you can get the fuck out if you need to. If you die on these heights, then your hold is gone. So yeah, sorry, side tangent. I get sidetracked a lot. Okay, let me transition fully to 4-man sacks. 4-man sacks bother me a lot with a lot of teams, especially lower level, because they do them really inefficient. So I need you guys to promise me that you won't let your med leave the comfort of this little area. You see these nice little houses that have roofs on them and stuff. You do not let your med leave these on a 4-man sack ever. Just make sure, right? Make sure that you're the pocket scout. You don't leave here until your med has his Uber. Then you can leave and you guys can go for a slow edge on the point. You guys can try to walk up together as a team. Otherwise, the furthest he comes is he comes up to here, he comes up to that doorway, or he comes up to this doorway. So you guys all die, you lose the mid, you say, okay, let's go for a 4-man. Med comes with everybody, walks up to this point, beams them up, and then you guys stay here. Make sure you get your full buffs and stuff like that. If you're a soldier, don't jump forward from spawn. You want to get your crit heals. Everybody get their crit heals at once, and then go as fast as you can and choose a time. When you really walk out this from here, that's when you guys need to look at your match HUD and say, okay, let's go at let's go at 28 if the clock is ticking down on their side, right? The main goal is you just want to be instantly into 4-man sack mode as soon as possible. Your med can never get out here, and if your med ever gets out here, then you're immediately in risk of just having your med die while you guys go for the 4-man. So med buffs only up to here, and then from here you guys need to choose a side and go instantly. On your 4-man sack, just remember you don't need to tunnel vision the med only. Any pick on this map is a good pick. If you guys even get like 1 scout or 2 scouts, let's say like you get a scout and a soldier. If you get a scout and a soldier on your 4-man sack, you guys all go in at the same time. You're really quick about it. You jump in together, you get on the same target, you all explode at once. If you kill a scout and a soldier, that means that the mid is pretty much yours if you play it right. By the time you get back to this mid, those 2 players are still going to be on their respawn, probably respawning by the time your whole team is at mid. So make sure that you're not over prioritizing getting the med. You'll see a lot of teams do exactly what I told you about, which is just bunker their meta completely. Look for the other kills on your 4-man sacks. They're completely valid, and they'll let you get the mid for free. Yeah, so just do that. Die at the same time. If you guys aren't dying at the same time on mids, on your 4-man sacks, then call each other out. Make sure that your timing is right. Make sure that someone is calling out, hey, I exactly want to go in at this time. You just need to be extremely efficient about it, because you can squeeze out multiple 3-man sack or 4-man sacks before your med gets Uber, which is way more time efficient than just doing nothing and waiting for your Uber to fully finish, right? So yeah, just make sure that you guys are very, very quick on recognizing, is this time to do a 4-man sack? Are we close to Uber? If we're close to Uber, then we walk to the point together and we edge this point. That's our common goal. If not, if you don't have that Uber, then you're building in spawn with your medic and running a 4-man sack, and that 4-man sack needs to go as fast as possible. So practice it, try to work on it in scrims and make it really fast.
And
If it
then
feels like it's like
4-man,
uncoordinated, then go over it in demo review. Sorry, what were you saying?
the 4-man is 2 soldiers, a demo, and a scout, right?
Yeah,
And then
everybody except your pocket
and then
scout.
yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Everybody except your pocket scout. Your pocket scout and your medic they're going to be chilling out in this little area. They aren't allowed to leave here until you guys get the Uber. That's your permission with the whole team to go as a team. So just make sure you guys are all working for that common goal, so you don't feel lost. If you don't have Uber, then you are looking to do a 4-man stack and you're trying to keep your crate heals, go to your med, all get healthy, and all meet up at once. If you have Uber, then go spot first, see which way is easiest to go. They might be really far back and you can walk in Valley for free. They might not be close to kill box. So choose a spot to walk in, get up to the point, and then try to edge it. Or just take whatever fight that you want to take. If you get a bunch of damage or something like that, you can always try to spam. If you want to take a really aggressive Uber and you want to build check them, you can always do that as well. It's really just up to your guys' volition and the game state as well. So figure out what sort of plays you want to make once you get up to that point. But you just need to have these basics of your rhythmic timings of what you're doing on this map. So it's either 4-man sack mode, edge point mode, or bunker mode, pretty much.
Are there
It's
any
kind of like a burrito.
situations which you would want like a heavy or an NG?
I mean, honestly, you can. You have to let me think for a second, because here's the thing. I would love to say no, but you can easily justify it. I don't know how to really work the strategy, or exactly the timing of it. Probably when you're bunkering or something like that. If someone dies and you're going into the bunkering, there's kind of a window there where you could switch to probably heavy over NG. I've seen it work. It's not awful, but I also know that heavy can just make your team extremely immobile and just allow you to just explode by a bomb if you guys aren't willing to like shoot the same guy in the air. So I mean, you can pull that out and you guys can practice that if you really want to. I'd say it's pretty gimmicky and it inherently isn't good if they're expecting it or you're doing it multiple times, just like a spy or anything like that. Yeah, do you guys have any questions about 4-man sacks specifically? Because I think they're super, super important. I just want to make sure you guys kind of all know what your job is on it.
What are the bombs you can do?
Bombs you can do. Here's the best one. It's this guy right here. You walk up here, and then it's kind of annoying because this is like a slight slant, so you can't really see tap off this wall. But I just usually hug off this, and I just go off of this wall right here. And then you can land on that hut, you can land on this mid, you can land on this this hut, whichever area that you can land on people, you would just want to land on what's closest to you, and everybody else just shoots what's closest to them. That's kind of how I like to do 4-man stacks on this map. Otherwise, this wall is really good. You can just come up from, you can roll out, slide up this ramp, come down here, drop down, 1, 2, play on this height, jump in further. You can shoot another rocket if you want to do a triple rocket bomb, land really deep on their valley, go behind their hut. That's also really good. You just kind of want to just do high bombs off the wall and get in deep and fast. Otherwise, your scouts and your demo are just going to be bombing straight into their face. So, yeah, just go off of a wall, whichever wall feels comfiest to you, and just make sure that you're in and deep in the second that you guys say, okay, we're going at this time on this 4-man sack. Just get in really, really, really far.
Okay.
And then, yeah, like I said, 4-man sacks, just shoot one thing. Focus fire comms are super important. I don't know if you guys know about focus fire comms in Overwatch, or if you ever heard that game at a competitive level, but people will just say the name of the person that they want dead over and over and over, so everybody is shooting the same thing. So you guys can just say focus scout, focus scout, focus scout, or focus demo if you notice whatever is closest on your 4-man sacks. Any kill is a good kill. If you can get a med force, awesome. That's sick. That's best case scenario actually, but any kill that you can get, great. So just focus whatever's closest and do lots of high bombs. You don't ever want to go behind as well on your 4-man sacks. If you're going behind ever and you're staying alive for like a few more seconds, the play is immediately worse and you're giving up an opportunity to do a second 4-man sack to try for another kill or for a force. Make sense?
Yeah.
So feel free to die. Your logs aren't going to look great on soldier. They'll actually look pretty good though. You get a lot of damage on this map, but you're going to get a lot of deaths on this map just doing your job. So don't be afraid to do that. Yeah, man, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can cover on this map, really? Do you guys have any more additional questions?
Did you go over like taking back point like after they have it?
Yeah, I mean, taking back point after they have it, you get your full Uber. You walk in and you can choose to edge the point. I like to edge the point because it causes them to have to walk forward and then fight you, right? You're putting the ball in their court to actually have to do something. So you just pretty much just touch the point, make them fight you, and then it's your choice from what you want to do there. You can try to focus down the demo and win the war of attrition. You can try to go for a single scout Uber and try to make them flash a bunch of people so you can take a better post fight. You can send some soldiers behind and sort of play it like a mid. You can sort of just think about it like a mid plan, right? We could have 2 people jump up on left side. We could have 1 person go behind. We could do all that normal mid plan stuff on top of you have the opportunity to take an exchange or to Uber if you need to. That makes sense?
Are you able to dry push at all, or do you have to have Uber to break the hold?
I would say you don't want to dry push ever on this map. Because you could just be doing a 4-man sack and making a situation where you can just walk in dry. You can walk in dry if you get picks and stuff like that, right? So like, let's say they have the point, they lose a scout and a soldier, or they lose their demo man and a 4-man sack, or whatever play just happened. By the time you guys are all running out of 6, that person is still respawning, so you're taking a 6v5, which is great. So yeah, walk a dry off of picks. If you get one from a 4-man sack. Otherwise, wait till you get your Uber to walk in. That answer it? So I said that. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
What's the roamer rollout?
Roamer rollout?
I think both soldiers have like the same rollout, don't they? Like
Oh
they
no,
both
not
do.
really.
No.
No. So you know that like Koth, both soldiers just get the crit heals, right?
Yeah.
So you get your crit heals, and then here's what I do. I get my crit heals. I walk up. Sorry, I don't usually play rocket launcher. You can slide up this ramp right here, walk up here, slide up this ramp here, walk up here, jump down, and then you're sort of in this area where you want to be. And then, like I said, you can jump up onto this area, shoot down, or you can choose to do some sort of active bomb, jump up on height with your scout at the same time, jump up here with your demo is spamming it, yada yada. So yeah, just pretty much just go through that left side. Pocket soldier
about-
does the right side.
Oh yeah, so the pocket soldier just does the normal pocket rollout and just runs through valley and gets boat.
Yeah, the pocket soldier is really nice because you just you do 2 rockets and then you slide up this ramp and then you slide up this ramp. It's the fastest way to go. And then you just walk in, get a little bit of a rebuff, jump up here, spam around, do your thing, make sure you don't die, jump off, get a rebuff, go for bomb, yada yada. Demo rollout is also just kind of same place. You just kind of go in this right area. Same thing with med. Anything else off the top of your guys' head? Gotcha. It's a good question. I'd say whichever one is better. I think that's really what it comes down to is whichever person is better at sniper and which person is going to get more headshots, that's the person you want on sniper. Because that's kind of the thing about the class. Is you're skill checking the opponent. You're kind of just saying like, hey, I have better awareness and I'm better at aiming than you. So choose the person who is the best at sniping. If it's a scout player, it usually is. Just have them do that. I think that there's only really a need for sniper on this map if your plans really aren't working. And if your plans aren't working, then that usually means that you're doing something wrong with your sacks, with your 4-man sacks specifically. Or
Are you
you're
able
doing
to
something wrong.
use? Are you able to use sniper to try to drop the med? Like instead of having a 4-man sack, you could just get a sniper or
Yeah,
send
you
the sack
could.
without the scout and have the scout go sniper.
I mean, no. Okay, well, here's the thing. If you do it while you're still getting the Uber, it's pretty inefficient because in that time you could have done like 2 4-man sacks while you're getting the sniper out. That's probably more likely than just going for the single shot headshot. Usually when you bring out the sniper, you want to do it once you already have the Uber, and then you can just walk out with him. As your whole team is already trying to walk out to begin with. Then you can try to go for that headshot on the med. Just by having the sniper pressure alone, you can just walk onto the point for free and edge it. But usually you only want to use it on evens once you're trying to like get back into the point. I would say only bust it out if you feel like stuff isn't working for you on those even scenarios. Make sure you're just building efficiently. Get to those even scenarios as fast as possible. Make sure that you guys are really working on getting like saying a time early for when you want to go to 4-man sacks and being healed up and just going for it. If the coordination's off, make sure you guys talk about it after. Don't blame, but be like, hey, okay, do we need to take more of a second? Do we need to slow down in this regard so we can get buff before our 4-mans? Just make sure you're doing that. That's the most important thing to focus on because like if you're really tunnel visioning on sniper, it's going to be pretty hard to actually like improve on the map. Make sense? So practice it a few times. Might be nice to bust out an official, but probably don't scrim with it. Stick to 4-man sacks and stick to trying to figure out how to get onto the point and edge it. Make some proactive plays. Yeah, kind of this map. It's a little bit weird of a cough map because there's not really a forward hold or anything. So yeah, the main skill expression is just really, really quick team coordination and just being faster second by second what your game plan is. Make sure you iron that down, scrim it a lot, and just try to get really, really fast with all your things. If you guys get a map, if you guys play this together as a team, and you have a demo of you guys like attempting, I don't know, fucking 24 mans and a bunch of even pushes as well, and they go wrong, then you have a way easier time reviewing and actually learning what you guys are doing wrong on this map. That makes sense. So just kind of go by this playbook, try it out a bunch of times, make adjustments, but just make sure you're sticking to 4-man sacks, even pushes, bunkering and stuff like that, and then you can kind of work out the kinks and figure out who needs to stand exactly where, who needs to be doing exactly what at each second. Yeah, it'll just come a lot more casually. But yeah, okay. So I've kind of just been yapping for a hot minute. Any other things before I take off? Clearcut related or not?
So you bunker on ad.
Bunker on ad, yes.
So do you just bunker for like the whole ad until like the sack comes in and then you go out and then when they respawn you just go back in or something?
When you bunker on the ad, right? They send their 4-man sacks. The goal is to try to kill all of them or keep your med alive, especially. And then all 4 of those guys die. You just stay in the bunker until you know that it's getting closer to even. Once it's getting closer to even, you're expecting the whole team to walk out, so you want to kind of play in like that sort of mid position with your med.
So if you're bunkering, would you own the point?
Would you say that again? Sorry.
Would you have the point bunkering? Like while you're
Yes.
bunkering?
Yes, 100%. But
So can't they
bunkering
just
is
start
only like
capping while you're in there?
no. You're so You only bunker, like, let's say, like, you guys have just won the mid, right? You have full ad, or you just killed their whole team or something. That's when you do it, is when there's no imminent threat. Then you set up the bunker, because what you're expecting is only a 4-man sack. This is specifically for 4-man sacks, or expecting one. Otherwise, you just kind of play, in a normal 2 people on height with your med out and your demo out. All that bunkering really does is it just ensures that your med isn't going to get forced if you have ad and you're holding point. It more just like assures that you're going to get a lot more time out of it. Does that make sense?
What if the 4 people just like started capping and then made you leave the bunker?
Oh, if the flame people start capping, then you walk out with your because they're not going to be with their beam, so you just walk out with your beam and your homies, and then you shoot them and kill them because they're taking a bad fight. But then also like that's completely dog shit for them too, because like they're building and then their players are trying to cap the point. They could be dead and going for another 4-man sack by the time they're like touching and capping the point and all that. It's just really time inefficient. That's why 4-man sacks are a thing, is because it drives the initiative and it makes it so that you can actually get something done if you don't have an Uber advantage. And it's just efficient. Otherwise, you're just wasting a bunch of time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if you guys wanna, I could also feel free to kind of go over things again once you guys get like a demo or 2 of playing on this map and all that. Try a few of the things that I brought up. There may have been a few things that got lost in translation, so no worries on that. But if I could probably do a better job explaining it once you guys, use like the 4-man sack and the bunker and kind of see how it feels, So if you guys want to, feel free to hit me up. I should be free most this weekend and probably next week as well. If you want a little follow-up review or a demo review afterwards, I can always try to help. Otherwise, this is a map that has actually a lot of really good YouTube demo reviews as well, so I definitely recommend looking at those. I think Banny has one that's pretty good. I know Wild Rumpus is a very solid clear-cut demo review. Definitely look up his demo reviews in general. They're just really good starting points. And then, yeah, scrim this map a lot. Try out things over and over. Try not to get tunnel visioned into gimmicky stuff like sniper and heavy and stuff like that. Just really, really work on how efficiently and how fast can we do our 4-man sacks and how many of them can we do while our meta is still building. And then how easy can we get to point and how fast can we get to point while all of us are still alive on these even scenarios. That's the stuff that you really want to focus on and work on, because the better you become at that, the better you're just going to like overwhelm people. But yeah, all right. Anything else? I think I'm probably just gonna stop the stream here because I need to get some water. Been waffling for a while. Of course, no problem. Feel free to shoot me a DM if you guys ever need anything coaching related to. I can try to help. I'm not the most qualified, but I can try. But yeah, good luck as well. That match I got to cast you on, even though it was fucking, what was it? It's like Local Man and Danmar who were restricted on that team as well, right? I think so. Like, you guys still had like a very solid game.